Now, the investigation underway. The storm's wrath, a powerful new system set to sweep east across the country after a tropical storm spawned several tornadoes, including an EF2 that ripped the roof right off a Florida middle school. The resort reversal. After announcing the G7 would be held at President Trump's resort near Miami, the president now backtracking. Plus, the new interview with his chief of staff, digging in on his denial after acknowledging a quid pro quo with Ukraine. The comeback trail, a huge crowd welcomed Senator Bernie Sanders after suffering a heart attack. His high-profile endorsement right by his side. Can he slow the rise of Senator Elizabeth Warren? In cold blood, the young father killed in his own home.
They shot my husband.
Police say protecting his family from intruders. Tonight, the surveillance footage authorities hope could lead to an arrest. The hero coach caught on camera disarming a student with a shotgun, handing the gun to another teacher and hugging the student close. Behind bars, the first images showing actress Felicity Huffman in prison.
Oh my goodness!
And catch of a lifetime, the little boy and the huge fish. But it's what he said and did after the catch that makes him the complete angler.
From ABC News, this is ABC World News Tonight.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. I'm Tom Yamas. And we begin tonight with a military training disaster that left 3 soldiers dead at Fort Stewart in Georgia. The accident early this morning during an exercise involving a Bradley fighting vehicle like this one that rolled over into the water. The Army confirming 3 soldiers did not survive. 3 others were rushed to the hospital with injuries. Authorities are now investigating, and we begin tonight with ABC's Stephanie Ramos, who's at Fort Stewart.
Tonight, investigators are looking into a deadly Army training exercise at Fort Stewart in Georgia that killed 3 soldiers. Officials say all 3 died at the scene after the Bradley fighting vehicle they were riding in rolled over into water early Sunday morning. Officials say no other vehicles were involved. Another 3 soldiers, also in the Bradley, were injured and evacuated. All of them part of the 1st Armored Brigade combat team stationed at Fort Stewart.
Fortunately, casualties in training mishaps are quite rare, but the real tragedy lies in that they can almost always have been prevented. In this case, investigators will go back and look at what were the circumstances. We know that it was very late at night, 3:30 in the morning. Was fatigue a factor? Was weather a factor? Was there a problem with the machine itself? Why didn't they see was water before it rolled into the water?
The commanding general of the 3rd Infantry Division saying, "This is a heartbreaking day. We are extremely saddened by the loss of 3 dog-faced soldiers and injuries to 3 more. Our hearts and prayers go out to all the families affected by this tragedy."
Investigators will be looking at a variety of potential causes here. Was it human error? Did something on the machine break? We know that it occurred in the middle of the night, so was fatigue a factor? Was weather a factor at all? All these will go into trying to figure out why this happened and to prevent it from ever happening again.
All right, Stephanie Ramos is at Fort Stewart in Georgia tonight. And Stephanie, you have an update on the 3 soldiers who were evacuated and survived?
That's right, Tom. 2 out of the 3 soldiers who were injured were treated at the Army hospital here at Fort Stewart and released. The 3rd soldier was transferred to a hospital off post and is expected to be okay. Officials say they'll release the names of those soldiers who were killed once their families are notified. Tom.
Stephanie Ramos leading us off with that breaking news. Stephanie, thank you. We turn now to the new weather threat after Tropical Storm Nestor slammed the southeast, leaving behind a path of destruction. Take a look at these pictures from Florida. Several tornadoes reported, including a confirmed EF2 that tore through Polk County with 120-mile-per-hour winds, destroying homes and ripping part of the roof off a middle school here in Kathleen. The new system is expected to intensify as it moves east across the center of the country. ABC senior meteorologist Rob Marciano is tracking it all tonight. Rob, good evening.
Good evening, Tom. We'll start with the storm that Nestor has morphed into, still bringing rainfall to much of the northeast. You see it here. You see it on the radar scope as well. Got another couple of hours before this thing spins itself out to sea, but it's been a cold, wet day for sure. All eyes will focus on the next system. As you mentioned, we have a severe weather threat that begins tonight, and after dark, we could see some tornadoes. Extremely dangerous. Dallas, just northwest of Little Rock. This storm is moving quickly. It will go coast to coast, Kansas City, back through Dallas, Shreveport, Houston tomorrow, slicing up through St. Louis and Chicago. The southeast could see severe weather, and in the southwest, we're looking at red flag warnings tonight. Santa Ana winds tomorrow. Critical fire danger through much of Southern California through tomorrow afternoon. Tom?
Could be a dangerous night throughout the country. All right, Rob, thank you. Now to a rare reversal from President Trump. The president tweeting the G7 will not be held at the Trump National Doral Resort in the Miami area, a backtrack that followed criticism from lawmakers in both parties. At the same time, acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney doing damage control, denying he admitted a, quote, quid pro quo involving Ukraine, military aid, and the president's political interest. But that denial has done little to quiet critics, and the impeachment inquiry is moving forward. ABC's David Wright is at the White House tonight.
Today at the White House, a rare retreat. Overnight, President Trump tweeted next summer's G7 summit will not be held at his Florida resort after all, blaming media and Democrat-crazed and irrational hostility.
He was honestly surprised at the level of pushback.
Trump himself first proposed hosting foreign leaders at his Doral resort.
We have incredible conference rooms, incredible restaurants. It's like such a natural.
Trump promised to host the Doral summit at cost, but Democrats did not take him at his word, quickly signaling their plans to investigate. Foreign leaders and some Republicans expressed reservations too.
At the end of the day, he still considers himself to be in the hospitality business. He wanted to put on a show.
Today, Acting Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney also sought to backpedal on another issue, admitting something the president has denied for weeks.
There was no quid pro quo. There was no quid pro quo. There was no quid pro quo at all.
On Thursday, Mulvaney admitted the administration did withhold military aid to Ukraine, in part to push Ukraine to investigate Democrats.
Which ultimately then flowed.
But to be clear, what you just described is a quid pro quo. It is funding will not flow unless the investigation into the Democratic server happens as well.
We do that all the time with foreign policy.
I recognize that I didn't speak clearly. Maybe on Thursday, folks misinterpreted what I said.
Today, in his defense, Mulvaney told Fox News he never actually used the words quid pro quo.
I never said there was a quid pro quo, because there isn't.
This week, House impeachment investigators expect to hear from another key witness. Bill Taylor was the top U.S. diplomat in Ukraine after President Trump recalled the ambassador. He's the guy who back in September sent a text message saying that he thought it was crazy to withhold security assistance for help with the political campaign. Taylor expected to testify Tuesday. Tom?
David Wright for us at the White House. David, thank you. We head overseas now to Syria, where the clock is ticking on a 120-hour pause in Turkey's invasion. Kurdish troops have pulled out from one key town, but a Kurdish commander tells ABC News they will not clear the safe zone entirely. There are also fears tonight about ethnic cleansing and what, if anything, the U.S. would do to stop it. ABC News foreign correspondent James Longman is in the region.
With reports of pockets of fighting raging on, it seems to have been a pause that never was. But tonight, Kurdish forces have withdrawn from the key town of Ras Al Ain, the first pullout since the conflict began. This move required as part of the deal the US struck with Turkey last week, in which a safe zone would be carved out all along the border. President Trump defending the deal.
Sometimes you have to go through some pain before you can get a good solution, but the Kurds are very happy about it.
But Kurdish commander Nasrin Abdullah says with more than 200 dead, they're far from happy.
Donald Trump says that the Kurds are happy.
I would tell Mr. Trump that the Kurds are not happy. They've killed all these people, so of course we are not happy. This agreement has allowed Turkey to occupy our land and kill our people.
A major issue lies ahead. Turkey is demanding Kurdish forces leave the entire safe zone, something the Kurds say they've not signed up for.
But the rest of northern Syria, you don't believe that that's part of the agreement?
Exactly. This is not included. They only told us Ras Al Ain.
The Kurds fearful Turkey's ultimate motive is an ethnic cleansing, sparked by President Trump's removal of US forces.
For many, many years, Turkey, in all fairness, they've had a legitimate problem with it. They had terrorists, they had a lot of people in there that they couldn't have. They've suffered a lot of loss of lives also, and they had to have it cleaned out.
On This Week, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo was pressed on the issue.
Can you assure the Kurdish people and the president's allies in Congress that you will not be party to ethnic cleansing?
George, we were very clear, and the vice president could not have been more clear when we were speaking with President Erdogan. In that Turkish-controlled space, that there wouldn't be attacks on minorities, that this was about getting a ceasefire, a secure area, and that this, in fact, will save lives.
And James joins us now live from northern Iraq. And James, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi making a surprise trip to that region with a congressional delegation to meet with the King of Jordan and sending a clear public message about this crisis.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Nancy Pelosi leading a delegation of Democrats and Republicans to meet with the King of Jordan. There's a real concern in this region for the Kurds and about a resurgent ISIS following the U.S. withdrawal. And no doubt the visit was intended to send a message of congressional unity against the president. Tom.
James Longman for us tonight. James, thank you. Next tonight, the race for 2020. Senator Elizabeth Warren was in Iowa today as a new frontrunner threat. But after suffering a heart attack, Senator Bernie Sanders is back in a very big way and with a key endorsement by his side. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
Senator Bernie Sanders launching his campaign comeback after that heart attack.
I am more than ready to assume the office of President of the United States. To put it bluntly, I am back.
Firing up the largest crowd in the primary so far at his first rally since his medical setback and making a big announcement. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez endorsing the progressive senator.
We have one of the best Democratic presidential primary fields in a generation. And much of that is thanks to the work that Bernie Sanders has done in his entire life.
But will her endorsement be the boost he needs to win over that progressive vote?
Having them endorse him will hopefully light a fire under the millennials and all the youthful voters to get out and vote for him.
Sanders is trying to fend off a surging Senator Elizabeth Warren, who had this to say about Ocasio-Cortez.
I am a fan of the Congresswoman. She's done some terrific work. We have worked together, and I know that once this primary is over, we're all going to be on the same side.
All right, I want to bring in Rachel Scott from the campaign trail here with us in studio. And Rachel, you've been tracking all the news from the Democrats. And Hillary Clinton raising some eyebrows this weekend with what she said about how the Russians may interfere in the election. Let's take a listen.
I think they've got their eye on somebody who's currently in the Democratic primary and are grooming her to be the third-party candidate. She's a favorite of the Russians.
Now, a Clinton aide saying that she was signaling Representative Tulsi Gabbard, who we see right here. Gabbard firing back, calling Clinton the queen of warmongers and even challenging her to join the race. But now, Rachel, some of the other Democratic candidates are defending Gabbard.
Exactly, Tom. Some in the Democratic field say Clinton's comments on this one just simply go too far. Senator Cory Booker emphasizing and stressing the importance of unity in the party, and former Congressman Beto O'Rourke just cutting right to the chase here, saying Tulsi Gabbard is not being groomed by anyone. Now, there is no evidence to support Clinton's claims, and tonight her team did not return our requests for comment, Tom.
All right, Rachel Scott for us tonight. Great to have you here in studio, Rachel. We turn now to a different story we've been following out of Texas, where a young father was fatally shot inside of his own home. Police say he was protecting his family from armed intruders. Tonight, his wife's chilling 911 call and the surveillance footage authorities hope may lead to an arrest. Here's ABC's Marcy Gonzalez.
Tonight, detectives in Texas searching for the home invaders who inexplicably killed this young father as he tried to defend his family.
Someone just broke in my house and they shot my husband.
The sound of shattering glass in Brenton Estorff's house near Houston, waking him, his wife, and two young children up early Thursday morning. He confronts two men and within moments is shot in the chest.
The person that shot your husband, is he still there? No, I don't think so, but I'm so scared.
Investigators say the men took nothing and drove off. Surveillance video capturing what they believe is the getaway vehicle. Brenton's family arriving from his native Australia.
Still hasn't really sunk in, it's real.
Heartbroken and baffled by why this house the family only lived in for 6 months was so violently targeted.
The cars were in the driveway. Anybody would know that there's obviously children in that house, but yet they still have the audacity to break a window and enter the home. They're going to pay for this.
Investigators are also now looking into whether there may have been a third suspect involved. Tonight, there is a $25,000 reward for information leading to arrests in this case. Tom?
All right, Marcy, thank you. Now to the heart-stopping video showing a high school coach in Oregon confronting a student armed with a shotgun. What he did in the hallway that has some calling him a hero. Here's ABC's Trevor Ault.
Tonight, stunning new surveillance video captured